Hey guys, hope you're having a beautiful day. In this video, I want to go over something that is that is insanely powerful, and hopefully this will help you like literally change the way you, well, first the amount of money you're currently making with your business, the level of pleasure you have running your business, and yeah. So please find it helpful. So key to unlocking true wealth by leveraging your pricing. Okay. I'm creating this piece of content 2 days after deciding to literally double the price of our current program. And my goal in this piece of content is to help you do the same, maybe even, double, 5x your current pricing structure, which in return will most likely help you fall back in love with your business. Before I dive in depth with how to make sense of doubling or tripling your price or 10xing, this is really your choice. Going over what are the advantages of doing so, I like to give you my personal reasoning behind it, which is, and this is really not something that like there's a logic behind it. It's literally just my emotional way of making a decision, which is I'm trading my life for money. So if I'm gonna sacrifice the only thing that I only get once, then I'm not gonna, I value myself to not ask for little baby money, right? So I'm gonna be asking for a lot of it, right? So hopefully this is also like something you need to keep in the back of your mind. Like understand that like you're gonna live this life once, you're going to die, right? So like stop undervaluing yourself. This is literally so like whatever stuff I'm going to cover. Hey, what's the importance? What's the benefit for your business? What's the benefit for your customers? That is second to this point. You're trading your life for money. Might as well ask for a lot of it, right? If any customer is like, oh, why do you charge so much money? Well, hey, I'm giving you my time. I can't get it back. You need to value your time and give it the price that you want to give it to. Because until you actually start valuing your time, nobody will actually value it more than you do. So that's why we see people, working at $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, right? It's whichever whichever level of standards you have, that's where people will find you, right? So, even before I go over this, concepts and benefits and all that, this is really the main reason, okay? Now, this reason isn't going to make prospects want to give you more money. So my goal in this video is to help you understand how you can increase your prices and still get prospects to pay you, top dollars for it, okay? Now, price to value discrepancy. Why do people actually buy? The main reason why anyone buys anything is that they're hoping to get something more valuable than what they're paying. Okay? Let's say if you bought access to this program is because you hoped that I would either save your time, solve your problems, right? And you valued the solutions or the outcome more than you valued the money that you had to exchange, for my solutions, right? So most business owners don't think in value, right, in terms of value when they're creating their prices or even the stuff they're selling. And this also has been my thought process when I first started out, right? My goal was to try to get as much money as possible for the smallest amount of value provided to my customers, okay? And this thought process or decision making or whichever process this is what keeps people fighting for pennies when there are billions of dollars to be collected from the market, okay? And the new way of thinking and decision making is when it comes to pricing and value creation is how can I deliver the most amount of value to my customers and be able to charge a premium price, okay? So let's go on this flow chart, okay? So if you see here, okay, there are a few ways that you can, increase the price to value discrepancy, right? The hard way, and by the way, this is really something that, a lot of people keep going over, but like someone who really explained it really well is Alex Hormozy. So if you guys haven't read his book, please go read it. You'll literally find the same stuff that I'm about to cover in this piece of content. So yeah, please find it helpful. So the hard way is to reduce your prices. Try to bring them as down as possible. Well, guess what? The issue with this is that you can only lower them to a certain extent. You can only lower it till you're literally become a non-profit, right? And that is capped. So if you want to provide the most amount of value, until you become a non-profit, well, you can create more discrepancy by just reducing your prices, right? And that's what most people do. They're like, oh, I'm going to reduce my prices and, undersell my stuff so that I can be competitive. But that's actually the wrong way to do it, okay? The easier way is to actually increase the value. Guess what? The value can go up till infinity. And guess what? Someone is ready to pay you as much money as you're willing to ask for, right? So instead of trying to, to do what everybody else does, which is, oh, I'm gonna sell for $9.99 for my, agency or for my program. Oh, I'll sell it for $500 a month. Oh, I'll sell it for $15 a month for people to join my community. What? You can only go so low. You're going to start charging $0. It's going to be free, right? But what you should do instead is stop thinking like everybody else and focus on the value discrepancy by increasing the value that you charge. This thing can go up through the roof, right? But your prices can only go so low, right? So, and this is what I've done, right? Instead of me trying to reduce my prices so that I can sign up the most customers at like $1,000, $2,000. Like I even canceled the 5-figure acquisition program because I'm like, no, I don't want to give the least amount of value to charge the least amount of money to get the most amount of customers. No, what I want to do is I want to increase the amount of value, right? Because that is limitless, right? I could even add a value, which is, let me wish my customers good morning, right? Let's FaceTime every single day. Let me help you get a better relationship, right? Like that, it never ends, guys, right? And the bigger the discrepancy, the better, then the easier it is to sell. And sometimes, I'm sure you guys have done it, have tried it, but when you probably first start in business, sometimes you have time where you're even willing to offer your time for free and people still don't want to get on a call with you. That's because at some level, this stuff actually becomes the same. Even if it's at zero. Sometimes the value of your time is actually lower than the price, which is, hey, I get so many people saying, hey, Serge, let's get on a call. I won't charge you anything. I just want to do this. I'm like, hey, you getting on a call with me is actually costing me more money. So I don't want to get on a call with you. You have nothing to offer me. I don't see any value, right? But you also have other people. Let's say like Alex Hormozy, he paid Grant Cardone like $120K for 4 hours of his time because the discrepancy was insane. Right? But most of you guys would rather not become skilled to the level where people are willing to pay $120K for 4 hours of your time. So what you do is you put in the least amount of effort. You hire the cheapest media buyer. You hire the cheapest chief operating officer. You hire the cheapest virtual assistant. Well, guess what? At some point, nobody will even want to work with you because the value is so close to the price, right? You wanna make millions, give so much that people are like, whoa, what's going on, right? But the good thing is that the higher the value, the higher the price you can charge. Okay? So this is insane, guys. This is really, I think this is the thing that will like help me get to like at least 5 million a year, right? I personally believe it, maybe even 10, is I'm going to deliver so much value that it's going to be like unreasonable for people not to give me 10 grand for the program, right? It will seem ridiculous for them not to give me 10 grand. Okay. So, you know, what most businesses, what do most, let me write this. What do most business owners do when pricing their services or products and deciding on what they want to offer? Well, maybe it's something that you've done. I know that this is something that I've definitely done, and it's a mistake, right? Which was, I looked at what the marketplace is willing to pay my competitors, right? Oh, how much are people charging for their consulting programs? Oh, they're charging 3 grand, 4 grand, 5 grand, this and that. So I priced it at that. They look at what their competitors are offering. Hey, what are my competitors offering? So I started offering, oh, let me help you book meetings. Let me help you do this, right? I decided to charge a bit less, right? Let's say like the 5-figure acquisition program was like, a few $1,000, right? And, I was, hey, my thought process is let me lower so that I can be more competitive and sign more customers, right? And I decided to offer a little bit more value than my competitors, a little bit, right? Well, what ends up being your value proposition or my value proposition is, hey, I'm offering more for less. Just a little bit more for a little bit less, right? Well, what's the consequence of doing this? Well, everyone ends up racing to the bottom. Everybody ends up competing for who can offer the most for the cheapest price. And that's why most business owners never actually achieve actual financial freedom or even true wealth. They just end up sad, scared to spend a little dollar to grow their business, and they end up hating their lives since they're sacrificing again their lives, the only thing that they can't make more of, for pennies. Like this is insane, guys. And you can probably feel it, but like my mindset has really shifted on what I charge, because I'm not going to sacrifice, because for me personally, like, to be honest with everyone who's watching this video, is I value my life more than the money I make. So anyone who ever like tries to bargain for a price and this and that, like, I'm not going to fight with people over a price. If you don't want to pay, that's cool. Go find something cheaper, right? And my goal is to try to help you, maybe have that same mindset. And please don't ever model these business owners. They're poor. They make essentially what they're doing is they're just focusing on this. How can we bring this down? And they're also focused on bringing this as low as possible. So they end up making close to zero, and they end up getting what? Giving their customers shitty results, because they're offering shitty value, right? So instead, deliver as much value as you can and charge as much as you can for it, right? Deliver as much. Like, the main thing in this video, if you can take anything, is deliver, over deliver, add so much that people, when they see your offer, they're like, what is going on? I've never seen anybody do such a thing, right? And charge as much as the market is willing to pay for it, right? Put your price at a ticket that you're like, whoa, how is this even possible? Okay. So some of you may ask, hey, how do I increase the value of my offer? Well, ask yourself the following question. How can I make it unreasonable for my customers not to achieve what I'm promising them, right? So if you're saying that, oh, you can help real estate agents, add an extra 100K in revenue every year. Okay, perfect. Well, how do you make it unreasonable for them not to achieve it? If you're telling brands that you can add an extra 7 figures or scale them to 7 figures per month, okay, perfect. Well, what are the features that need to be added to make it unreasonable for you not to scale these brands to 7 figures? And, you might be required to add more solutions to your mechanism, right? Stop just relying on a Facebook ad, right? Stop just relying on how good, anyone If you're watching this video and you're an agency and you rely on brands to give you the creatives, like that's something that is like, please stop the madness. If you ever work with a brand and you don't figure out a way to deliver the actual creatives and you think you can just run with basic creatives, like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're not gonna grow, right? That's what I mean. Like, add so much features to your offer that it becomes like unreasonable for people not to buy, right? Become better at what you do and reduce the time it takes to your customers to achieve their desired outcome. Oh, this is just another content for the program. This will take a whole different like module, but like reducing the time it takes to get your customers the results. Okay, this is the thing that helps you make sense, that helps you literally be able to charge as much as you want, right? Because right now, right, I'll tell you what I'll be adding in the program to make it unreasonable for me not to charge 10K. But if you can shorten the time that it takes for your customers to achieve the 7 figures per month, to add an extra 100K in yearly revenue, you're gonna win. You're gonna make more money than you even know what to do with. Okay, it could be adding a better onboarding experience. It could be the shorten the time it takes to your customers to get a return. You don't have to get them 100K in 2 days, but maybe make them a sale. Add an extra $2,000 in their monthly revenue, right? Add an extra, $100 in their bank. Maybe free up their time, get them to work less, right? And this is really depending on what your offer is. You could be a coach helping people understand, helping people meditate better, but give them a little like a instant gratification, right? Kind of thing. Add guarantees. That also increases value, right? So this is really it, right? And this is so valuable, guys. Like I cannot preach this enough, but like focus on increasing this and stop focusing too much on like trying to give the least for the most. Like that's what people who can't think long term try to do. Amazon, literally what they used to do is every time they made more money, they literally made like $1 billion in their second year, right? But every time they made money, they reinvested it in the business to add more stuff for the customer. They started out like, hey, how can we give the most like the biggest catalog of books for people out there? The hardest book to find, how can we have the most of it on our Amazon, right? And now you literally buy something and it arrives in less than 15 hours. Like, how is that even possible? Because guess what they focus on? Value. That's how you make billions of dollars, right? Solve so much problems that like and Amazon doesn't even charge much. Like you can find the best prices on Amazon, but guess why you can do that? They're not actually focused on profit per product. They're doing it at scale. Whenever they increase, whenever they grow their platform and make more money, they actually invite other people to sell other products, and they try to reduce the prices, because it actually creates a flywheel effect. Because the more customers, let me explain this, right? So the more stuff there is to sell, the more customers buy, the more third parties will actually want to come and sell on that platform, because there is a good audience. And the more people come to sell, the more competition. And guess who the competition benefits? It's the audience, it's the customers, right? So the more customers, the more they buy, the more people want to come and sell on Amazon. The more people sell on Amazon, the cheaper the prices, the more customers want to buy, the more customers buy, the more people want to come and sell, the more people want to come and sell, the cheaper the prices. So it actually never stops. And that's how you have to think about business. Stop being worried too much on like, oh, but I don't want to give this amount of value. I don't want to, deliver this amount of value for someone who's paying me $200 a month. Exactly. You're charging so little that you can't even make sense of delivering that much value. And that's the next thing. let's go to the next thing. Sorry for making this video too long, but like it needs to be long because it's an insane understanding. Okay, so stop modeling people that are broke, please. Stop it. Okay. And the benefits of having the highest price, so in providing the most amount of value to your customers. Well, for your customers, well, guess what? You increase the level of commitment of your customers, since they need to be a lot more emotionally invested in the decision they made to work with you, right? Nobody will come and work for me and pay me 10 grand if they don't know me, if they don't trust me, if they don't believe emotionally, if they're not emotionally invested. So they need to be emotionally invested to even work with me. It's not just like, oh, okay, it's not just like a transaction. It's more than that. But if I pay someone $100, I'm not that emotionally invested. Even $1,000, even 2 grand, right? I literally paid someone like yesterday to just give me access to a pool of closers. I paid him 2 grand, right? But I literally could even forget about the closers and not even use his services, because 2 grand is not even that much money. I don't even check my credit card to see how much I spent or how much, because the level of emotion, the level of investment that I made emotionally is not that big. It's nothing. I might even forget to use their services. And that's probably what happens with most of your services. When you're charging so little that people are like, oh, whoa, I have an agency working with me. I need to remember to give them these creatives. Oh, I have this guy. He's I remember I paid him to help me, right? And that's really what happens, right? And the perceived value of your service actually increases. You become the Bugatti, you become the Chanel of your space, and your customers start loving what you do for them. Your customers, when they see this ticket, they're like, oh my God, this guy charges 25 grand. Damn, there must be something good in here, because why would someone charge 20 grand for something? It doesn't make sense, right? That's the good stuff. So if your customers are highly invested in your mechanism and value your service, therefore they get better results. If I had paid 20 grand for the guy to give me access to his closers, do you believe I probably wouldn't be making this video? I probably would already be training the closers that he gave me access to, right? So the more I value something, the more I'm actually gonna be using it. Like the reason why I don't buy because I'm really into cars, so I really like high horsepower cars like an AMG but the reason I haven't bought it is because that if I buy it, I'm going to want to drive it. Because if I spend 60 grand, 70 grand on a car, I'll be like, oh my God, there's 70 grand in the garage. I need to go drive that 70 grand, or else it's losing value. It's the same thing with your service. But when I had a $2,000 car, you could even steal it and I wouldn't even know if it was stolen, because I'm like, okay, perfect. Like even try to find that $2,000 car would cost me more money than just letting it get stolen, right? And that's the thinking. That's why, guys, make people, in order, like 10 grand, guys. Like I don't want, if anyone is scared to spend 10 G's with me, like it's okay, pay it. Because I know that if you don't pay me 10K, you're not going to value my stuff. And if you don't value my stuff, you're not going to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're not going to get results. Therefore, I'm going to be running a business that doesn't give people results. And the crazy thing is, some people in this program won't even watch this video. Right? And that's the scary thing, because they haven't spent 10 G's. Right? And now I can't get them results because they don't value this thing enough. And it's crazy. So you reduce the demandingness of your customers. Anyone who pays you multiple 5 figures, 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, is not going to be blasting you in DMs like, hey, Serge, like, oh, I need to check this. Oh, hey, Serge, can you do, hey, Serge? No. They're just gonna be more aware of the process and learn it and be more efficient. They're not gonna bother you. But people who pay you $500, they're always in your DMs being like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. Like, hey, come on, man. Relax. Do you want your money back? Because you're costing me peace of mind. And it's really that, okay? And
You're able to increase the level of fulfillment for your customers since you have more capital to reinvest in the business, therefore making it unreasonable for them not to achieve their desired outcome, right? The more money you make, the better the experience you can offer your customers, okay? And what does it look like for your business and you as the business owner? Well, you start generating a lot more profit. You increase the perceived value of self. You're like, wow, I'm able to charge this amount of money. Wow, I'm able to deliver my customers' results. Wow, people value me. People value this, right? So you increase your conviction, the level of conviction, right? And your business becomes the number one in the game because you're getting more social proof. You're getting more everything. Since you've built an airtight process to make sure that everyone who enters your systems comes out with their desired outcome, right? Point number 5 here is you have a lot of money, so you can actually reinvest in the business, and you can hire the best. The more revenue, the better the talent you attract, the better the customer experience, the better the service, the better the probability of your customers actually winning. So this is actually a flywheel in itself, in and of itself, right? And the level of conviction of your growth team goes up, which in return ends up pushing them to grow your business at an even faster rate. Because if your sales rep are getting paid $200, well, how the hell do you expect them to be incentivized to get you more money to grow your business, right? But if you're selling something that costs $25K and they're making $5,000 every time they sell it, well, they'll be like, whoa, I could literally make 2 sell and make $10K a month. It could literally take in one single day, that guy could make $50,000 from selling 5 offers. All right. And yeah, that's it. It's really simple, right? And let me show you this flywheel. Okay. So high price attracts high quality customers, which in return gives you more revenue, which means that you're able to build a better backend. You're able to hire the best talent. You're literally able to make it unreasonable for your customers not to achieve what they want, okay? So now, what that means is, well, if you're like Amazon, right? Every time someone buys, they get it in 15 hours. Well, you don't get someone an outcome in 15 hours if you don't really have a good operation, right? Well, if you can deliver the outcome in 15 hours, guess what? You're able to charge higher prices because you can deliver the outcome so fast and it's guaranteed almost, right? And it never ends. It's a flywheel that never stops, right? So let's say if you're an agency, okay? It's time to stop thinking about, a media buyer charges $200, $500. Let me find them. No. Find the guy that charges $5,000. All right. Find the guy that charges $10,000. Because if someone charges that kind of money, which comes back to this point, is because he believes in his ability to actually deliver amazing outcomes, right? And if you have him on your team, well, your customers will have the best results. If you add as many valuable skill set, as many valuable support in your business, you're going to end up, getting your customers better results, meaning you're going to start valuing yourself at a higher price point, right? So like for me, let's say for my customers, I'm going to be adding in more people who have had the same experience or who are higher level or who are at the place where my customers want to be, so that they can bring those insights, the insights that I can't bring to my customers, and add them to our to our program, the frameworks, share everything with our customers, because I want to make it unreasonable for my customers not to get what they want, right? That's why I need to charge high prices. Because if I'm charging $2,000, well, how am I going to hire someone who says, hey Serge, in order for me to share my insights with your company, with your clients, I need to charge $5,000 a month. Like, how am I going to make sense of that? It's almost impossible, right? So this is why it's so important, okay? But the most important thing and the funniest thing is that price in and of itself is a communication of value, right? What if I told you that the price that someone pays for a thing dictates at a certain degree
the appreciation that they have for that thing, right? What if I told you that the fact that you're charging $1,500, $2,000 is actually making people not appreciate your service, not value your service, right? Not think that you can actually deliver. Feel like you're actually, I have a customer, who lost a deal because like 2 days later after signing a customer, and the customer, I think feedback was like, hey, I don't, working with you would actually be, doing you a disservice because I don't believe you can actually deliver. Well, to me personally, I think that if my customer would have charged 5 to 10 grand per month, that brand would have never left. True story. Probably, if you recognize yourself and you're watching this video, try to ask that prospect, hey, would you have canceled our agreement if I would have charged you twice or 3 times the amount I charged you, right? And you'll see the experience. Okay, so this article goes over like, hey, how price changes the way people experience wine. Okay, so essentially, if a person is told he or she is tasting 2 different wines, and that one costs $5 and that the other $45, when they're in fact the same wine, the part of the brain that experiences pleasure will become more active when the drinker thinks he or she is enjoying the more expensive vintage wine. And this is the craziest thing, right? So what we document is that the price is not just about inferences of quality, but it can actually affect the real quality, right? This professor of marketing, right? And he says that an expert like Shiv, an expert in how emotion affects decision making, used functional magnetic resonance imaging to conduct the study with co-authors, blah 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 blah. And I want to show you this thing. So the researchers recruited 11 male, right? And they had, I think, three wines, okay? But they were told that so let me actually read it. The researchers recruited 11 male Caltech graduate students who said they liked and occasionally drank red wine. The subjects were told they will be trying 5 different Cabernet Sauvignon and identified by price to study the effects of sampling time on flavor. In fact, only 3 wines were used, 2 were given twice. The first wine was identified by its real bottle, which is $5, and it was also, had another one which was a fake tag of $45. The second wine was marked, so 2 bottles, same wine, $5, 45, okay? And then the second wine was marked with the actual price, and which was $90, and the second bottle for the same wine, $10, okay? The third wine, which was used to distract the participants, was marked with its correct price. And, they were given water after to just rinse the subject's mouths. The wines were given in random order, and the students were asked to focus on flavor and how much they enjoyed each sample. The participants said that they could test 5 different wines, but here we just noticed that it's the same wine. It's essentially 3 wines, 2 of the same, and then 1 which is different, which had the real price. Okay, the researchers found that an increase in the perceived. Okay, no, I skipped. So the participants said they could taste 5 different wines, even though there were only 3, and added that the wines identified as more expensive tasted better. The researchers found that an increase in the perceived price of wine did lead to an increased activity in the MOFC because of an associated increase in taste expectation. Shiv said he expects infols, or I don't even know what the word is, will challenge the results. Since his subjects were not professional, will these findings replicate among experts? He asked. We don't know, but my speculation is that yes, they will. I expect that infols will show more of these effects because they really care about it. Okay. Let me see. I read something that was really cool here. But coming back to this, right? The actual price that you quote someone actually,
like affects the experience, right? So why wouldn't you want to raise your prices if the simple act of raising your prices had increased not just the perceived value of what you offer, of what you have to offer, but also the experience or your customers have when working with you, right? So my recommendation after watching this video is please increase your prices, but don't just stop there. Deliver more value than anyone in your market. And that's how you become, what I like to call a beast, right? That's how you win. Deliver as much value as you can. Increase your prices more than anyone, right? Because people watch your prices and be like, what the hell? You're charging 10 grand per month? You're charging 20 grand per month? Whoa, how do you make sense of charging that price? People will just look at it and be like, whoa, there is something definitely going on here. And, by them paying more money, they'll actually appreciate you more. So win. And if you have more capital, then that means you can deliver better results. You can make sure that they always get their outcome, okay? So hopefully you found this video helpful. This is the key to unlocking true wealth. Stop being a slave to your business and start thriving. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.